Hi, welcome to Asha's Connect and Share channel. I shall be presenting real situation stories which are psychologically based and commonly observed all around us. Today, I am going to narrate a story about two brothers which is named Conflict and Collaboration. Amay and Abhay were brothers. Amay was elder brother and Abhay was 3 years younger than him. Both went to same school. Amay was very responsible type of a boy. Abhay on the other hand was very easygoing guy, very mischievous and often got into trouble with classmates. Teachers punished him often, but still he with his captivating style and easy mannerism was a darling of everyone. He felt that teachers were partial towards his brother and were not able to see his own capabilities, but he did not care for this. Both brothers were the pride and pleasure of their mother Nirmala and father Vinod Chandra, who was a businessman. He had inherited his small shop selling electronic goods from his father. He was earning enough to fulfill all the basic requirements of his family. Though he himself could not pursue higher education, he had high aspirations about his sons. He sent them to very good school and always encouraged them to have high ambitions and goals. As they grew older, Amay distinguished himself as a very bright student. Abhay continued to be an average student. He bore his father's disappointment in him for not being as serious a student as his brother on one hand, and his teachers' detrimental remarks towards his inability to perform as good as Amay in schoolwork. All this was a very hurting and could have had a deep damaging effect on Abhay. But his strong, innate confidence in himself prevented him from losing his self-esteem and never undermined his self-worth. Secretly, he had decided to show everyone what stuff he was made up of when the opportunity was offered to him. Amay decided to pursue business management course after graduation. He continued his studies seriously and sincerely. Abhay told his parents that after graduation he wanted to start his own business. They were surprised at his announcement. They had little faith in his ability to succeed in any kind of activity he would get involved in. They were of the opinion that he should help his brother and together they would grow. The emotional distance that was created in childhood due to the comparison by the teachers had remained deeply etched in the minds of both the brothers. Amay had a very protective attitude towards his younger brother, whom he loved and cared for dearly, while Abhay was in awe of his elder brother. Though the environment had tried to set a stage for deep competitive feelings and jealousy between them, both brothers had survived from the heavy onslaught of this destructive emotional baggage in their minds. Both brothers qualified in their chosen fields, and Amay enjoyed carrying on with his father's business. Abhay, on the other hand, joined an automobile showroom as a salesman. Although not much convinced, Vinod Chandra allowed his second son to go on with his decision, hoping that once he grows up a little more, he will realize his mistake and come to join the family business. But Abhay had some other plans. Amay took hold of father's small business of selling electronic home appliances. Very soon, he got wholesale agency of some of the popular brands and their business grew many folds. They expanded their business and brought a new spacious house in a posh area and two more shops in different areas of the city. This helped to grow the business. He then approached manufacturers of scientific equipment and set up a big warehouse where he could store the expensive machines and keep them safely. Business grew beyond Vinod Chandra's imagination. He felt very happy and proud of his elder son. Abhay, on the other hand, into the nitty gritty of the automobile business. With his easygoing mannerism and pleasing personality, Abhay could project a very friendly image that could easily win even the toughest customers to trust and believe in him. He soon landed into a job as sales manager with a very popular high-end brand of a German automobile company. Soon the company called him to Germany for a special training. He also met Angela and they became very close friends. Equipped with lot more knowledge about automobile industry, he returned home. During one of his visits to a research department of a well-known group of hospitals, Amay met Shaila. They instantly felt the attraction between them. They started dating and knew that they were falling in love. Both brothers married their lady love with the blessings of their parents. Abhay bought a posh 3-bedroom flat in the same town and settled there with his German wife. Amay stayed with his parents. Amay started importing big consignments of expensive scientific equipment from different countries to supply to the hospitals, research institutes, and also individual users. Abhay grew in automobile business independently and started importing expensive and latest car models from Germany. Shaila continued with her job while Angela helped Abhay in his business. Both brothers were busy in their work and hardly had any time to meet except on festive occasions. Shaila gave birth to a beautiful baby girl and Angela had a bonny baby boy. Brothers never interfered in each other's life and kept a decent distance. Then suddenly there was a catastrophe. The ships carrying Amay's cargo sunk in the rough sea and lost all the expensive equipment they were carrying. Amay was devastated. This was never even imagined to happen in the wildest of his dreams. Amay was lost. He had borrowed heavy amount of money as loan from well-known bank at a high rate of interest. His new house and office premises were mortgaged. He was totally broken and worried deeply about how he would repay the loan to the bank. He shared the facts about his helpless situation with Shaila, but had no courage to tell his parents about the total loss he was experiencing. He could not sleep or eat or even think of any kind of solution to get out of the never before experienced depressing situation. Shaila brought him to me for counseling. He was not much verbal about his situation, but expressed mainly his worry and concern about his family. As a counselor, I tried to make him evaluate the situation. He could not think of anyone who would be able to get him out of the tight situation he was in. His intellect, knowledge, and experience were failing to give him any emotional or practical support in the situation. Parents noticed the change in his behavior. He vaguely ignored their queries and never discussed about his massive problem. Shaila suggested to him that he can share his intolerable plight with his brother, but Amay stopped her from ever thinking about involving him. He believed that as an elder brother, he was supposed to support and help his younger sibling and should not burden Abhay in any way. Shaila respected his feelings and did not pursue the matter with him. Soon, Amay started getting calls from the bank regarding payment of loan. Many challenges was to keep him connected with his present reality and reminding him often that finances are not the only things to be respected in life, while there were so many other important things that cannot be ignored. I tried my best to keep him afloat. It became obvious to me that he was restricting himself from sharing his plight with his brother because of his self inflicted belief that as elder brothers he should not ask or share his problems with your younger sibling, as they would be causing burden to them. He was not able to even slightly deviate from his self defeating belief. Deep counseling efforts finally, very gradually, helped to convince him that he would not be causing much burden to his brother if he just let him know about his problem without expecting him to contribute towards payment of loan. Slowly his resistances were breaking and he was moving towards confiding in his brother, but not yet able to come over the long held feeling of being the protector and supporter of the younger brother, though he did not convince enough to confide in his father. So he shared his plight with his father. Vinod Chandra himself accepted the responsibility and shared and started attending their shop, thus helping to carry on with their usual business. Amay was totally a changed person. Now, he was still not able to eat, sleep, or even talk in a coherent manner. Banks had allotted him 3 months' time to repay the loan, and already 2 months had gone by. Amay could not see any solution to his massive problem. He was still struggling with the dilemma whether to involve his brother or not. He felt like a defeated man who had lost his self confidence and blamed himself for every wrong in the world. He suffered alone. Just when all hopes were given up by him, he received a call from the bank manager to come and meet him. Amay thought the worst had already come and he was to receive the final call for the payment before the bank started the process of taking over all his possessions. It was very difficult for him to gather himself and go to the bank by himself. Vinod Chandra decided to accompany his shattered son to the bank. Father and son reached the bank with lot of apprehension. Amay was hardly able to stand. Manager came forward extending his right arm to shake hands with them. Seeing Amay's apprehensive attitude, he put his arm around him and took them to his office. Manager asked them to feel comfortable and said he had very good news for them. Amay wondered what good news this man can give him while he was surrounded from all sides with dark clouds of despair. Manager looked straight into his eyes and said, Amay, gather yourself for the most wonderful news, which has also surprised me and baffled me. The suspense was mounting. Manager took Amay's hands in his hand and said, Young man, stop worrying about your payment of loan now. For entire loan amount has been paid and now you are free from any liabilities towards the bank. Amay thought the manager was mocking him. Vinod Chandra was unable to accept and believe what he was hearing. To make sure he was understanding the matter correctly, he asked the manager to be serious about whatever he was saying and come down to the business at hand. Manager now joined both his hands and very sincerely addressing Vinod Chandra said, Sir, I am not mocking by any mistake. I am very honestly informing you that the entire amount of loan that Mr. Amay had borrowed from our bank has been repaid by a benefactor, and Mr. Amay is now free from all liabilities towards paying anything to the bank towards the loan. Some of the matter was now sinking into Amay's head, and he looked at the father and asked whether what he was hearing is right. The manager informed them that one good gentleman benefactor had come forward to pay up all the dues on behalf of him. Vinod Chandra told the manager that this was unbelievable. Manager answered them that he was telling the truth. Amay, gaining some control over his totally dismantled mental condition, asked the manager to give the name of the benefactor, as he said he can't accept such a big favor from some unknown person. Manager apologized, saying the gentleman did not want his name to be divulged, and this was the condition he put before paying. They left the bank totally dismayed. They were more perplexed than happy. Who could that angel be? Who? 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 The worry about paying the loan was replaced with the new puzzle of trying to figure out who their benefactor could be. Time passed. When Amay came for the next counseling session, he shared his perplexities with me and wished to meet the mystery man, he said. Counseling session helped him to look deeper into his mind and guess who could be interested in getting him and his family out of the massive trouble he was in. Amay had remotely thought of Abhay being the mystery man, but Vinod Chandra dismissed the idea, saying that Abhay was very busy going through his work and did not take anything seriously in his life. How can he pay up such a big amount while Amay could not manage it in spite of being so smart and successful? Vinod Chandra believed in his elder son while had a very poor opinion about his younger son. They never even bothered to ask or inform Abhay about their problem. Thinking deeply about various possibilities of who could be the mystery man, Amay finally decided to talk to his brother. He called him and asked him to come home with his family and have dinner, as he informed, I have a special occasion to celebrate and I want you to share it with me. Abhay accepted the invitation and they decided the day to have a family gathering. The families met. Years of emotional baggage carried by both the brothers was taken off their minds and they were feeling lighter. Everyone settled to have dinner in the hall. The mystery of the mystery man was solved. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell icon to get further notifications regularly. For any counseling needs for psychological, behavioral, or emotional problems, you may contact me on the numbers displayed. Bye for now.